Good afternoon, traders, and welcome back to the Hot Stocks Outlook for July 12th, 2019. Hope you're all having an excellent week out in the financial markets, and as always, plenty to cover. We're going to start here with Western Digital. We've got Phillips 66, Motorola, Royal Gold, and also Boston Scientific. So starting here with Western Digital, what we have here are daily bars and candles. Each one of these days represents a full and complete trading day, as represented by each one of these candles. And you see that there's a few indicators against the chart. And this is a really good example to understand how really the entirety of these indicators work together. So if we look at the right against that price action, you see that there is a black line and also a blue line. Now, the black line that you see on the chart, that is a regular, or what we refer to as the actual simple moving average. So very easy to calculate a simple moving average. You just take the past 10 days close prices, add them all together, and then divide by 10. And what that line does is it plots a good line of where the market has really already been. But of course, as a trader, we need to understand, well, where are prices headed next? And so what we're able to compare that black value to is this blue line that you see on the chart. And for that value to be generated, VantagePoint is looking at what's called intermarket relationships between not only, what's going on with Western Digital here, but other tech companies, right? Things like, maybe Seagate or some of these other hard drive manufacturers. You got ETF groups, futures markets, the dollar index, currencies, interest rates. And what it's able to do is use all of that intermarket information and generate future prices that haven't yet occurred yet, and actually build that into these indicators, turning them into what used to be a lagging indicator that's only looking at past prices, and a forward-looking predictive indicator. So we can say, okay, well, where are prices likely to start moving next? So once that blue line crosses above the black line, it suggests, look, the trend is now up. You should expect average prices to start moving to the upside. Now, in addition to those predicted moving averages, you also have this indicator at the very bottom of the chart. And this is what's called the predicted neural index, another indicator derived via those intermarket relationships and that artificial intelligence found within the software. But it works differently in that what it's really attempting to do is look forward in 48-hour periods and determine very short-term strength or weakness. So how I like to look at this is to really understand that, okay, well, if we have a very accurate prediction of where the moving average is, right, where average prices are expected to go next, well, when this 48-hour indicator gets bearish or moves to the other side, well, you can expect price action on the negative side, in this case, of that moving average. But the overall trend is still very much to the upside, as you see just a huge amount of spread between that prediction of the moving average and the actual moving average. Now, to really round out the forecast, you also each and every day, so not just a 48-hour indicator, but actually an intraday levels, you're provided a predicted high and low so that you can make those decisions and say, okay, well, if I want to go ahead and get long a market, where should I be looking to go ahead and get involved? So this can be used to set your entries or limit orders to go ahead and take positions in the market, but also shorter term profit targets for those upside targets that you may want to hit. But understanding in this case, look, the overall trend is up. You want to remain in this position as long as that blue line or trend remains to the upside. But of course, you can take some profits along the way here and stay huge move here just in the past 13 trading days. Western Digital shares up over 38% or $15 per share. Now, taking all that same logic, it doesn't really matter what market you look at. So here we have shares of Phillips 66, and we're in the energy space. But same thing here. At the beginning of June, we get this crossover to the upside, and that blue line remains above the black line. But what you'll notice is there's a couple of times where this neural index dips down to its red configuration, saying, okay, well, expect those prices, below the moving average, right? But to pretty much be on the lower side of the average over that next 48-hour periods. But overall, the neural index hanging up in a bullish trajectory, and this market just moving up each and every day. So depending on your time frame, you can go ahead and use these different levels to determine, okay, well, where do I want to get involved for the time frame that I'm looking at, and also not get shaken out of a trade and understand that, okay, well, there may be some short-term weakness in the market at these points, but often a really great time to be adding to your position, not getting out of the way as the trend is still continuing to the upside here. So you see about a 17% move from this point. A couple areas here along the way, really up 3-4 entries along the way, but over a 15% move, over 17% there. just over the past month here. So really nice opportunity here in Phillips. We can go ahead and again take a look at this. A little over 15% just over those 21 trading days there. Now moving on to more of the tech area here, we have Motorola Solutions here. And same thing, in June, we saw a lot of markets turn to the upside as far as these predicted moving averages and trend. And so that would indicate, look, go ahead and look to get long. But of course, you want to make sure that if the trend continues, that you're going to stick with that trade. And again, you see these periods where those 48-hour, you get those, retracements in the market where you may look to trade below the predicted moving average, or that blue line you see on the chart. But you get that guidance from your predicted highs and lows really all along the way. And you see here that there's multiple entries to go ahead and be adding into this position in this overall uptrend here. So just entry after entry as this market sort of goes sideways for a little bit on these pullbacks and retracements. Those are great levels to be adding into the market. And we see, well, the trend is still to the upside here, right? That blue line still above the black line, and getting a really nice move over the past couple of months here. So again, about an 18% move to the upside in Motorola Solutions. We also seen the gold market do extremely well. So you not only see this in gold, but the commodity for gold, but a lot of gold and mining stocks, things like Newmont Mining doing really well. Well, here's Royal Gold. You see this crossover to the upside. And again, you get these periods where the trend is up, but you may get some sideways action. You see when that neural index is bearish, you're not in a very strong uptrend over those time periods. You see things straighten out, another retracement, things straighten out. So you can really determine, okay, well, where are the periods where I really want to be more aggressive with my trade as that neural index is forecasting, look, the trend is up, shoot for those upside price targets. And of course, use those predicted levels from VantagePoint to go ahead and establish that position early on in the trade here. So you see about 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 entries to the upside here. And so what really works out well is even on days like this where you see you move past the predicted low, well, if you have a limit order waiting, you just get filled right there at the open and then immediately move up because that overall trend direction is up. So you just have to understand that, you're likely to trade around these predicted moving averages, right? It's a predicted average, right? You can trade above and below it, but as long as the trend is up, you want to stick with that trade idea and make sure that you make the most of these opportunities, because you don't want to get involved in these opportunities at the start of the trade, but get out of them as that trend is still moving higher, which you see over 25, almost 30% so far move to the upside here in Royal Gold. Same thing again for things like Newmont Mining, just the gold market in general, moving from $1,300 up to over $1,400 an ounce. But 39 trading days, 28% move to the upside there. Lastly here, Boston Scientific. Again, a lot of these markets moving to the upside really beginning around June, and that's been a really nice bullish trend starting to emerge in the marketplace. But again, you see these areas where neural index bearish here. Here you get some sideways, little bit of retracement. But you never get that blue line crossing below the black line, right? You never get that situation that says, look, the trend has reversed. It's really just been 2 months straight of saying, look, you want to be a buyer in a market such as this. And what's great about these predicted levels is they adjust and adapt. So every day we get more information as more price data becomes known, not only from the target market, but all of the intermarkets that are, affecting that, whether it be the ETFs or stock futures or the dollar index, interest rates. But you get all that information from these other markets. And then these values keep updating and forecasting where prices are most likely to, as far as the intraday levels here, what the range is likely to be, but also whether those average prices are still on the move higher. And of course, again, like all these situations, as long as that blue line's above the black line, the trend is up. So regardless of what your trading strategy is, whether you're trading in the options market, buying calls, whether you're a short-term day trader, just really match the time frame with what these tools are telling you about the market, and you'll get much better entries into these trades and also manage the opportunity as it moves forward much more effectively. You see this market up over 15% in just the past 37 trading days, almost $6 per share. So again, just really great opportunities, really spread out all throughout the greater markets here. You got the S&P moving higher, all the sectors trending to the upside, and that opening up some opportunities for traders. So once again, this has been our Hot Stocks Outlook for July 12th, 2019. Thank you all for watching. Best of luck and bye for now.